You guys, welcome. It's Monday. A huge congratulations to my team in Africa, working so hard, enjoying such success. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your commitment, your hard work, your dedication. This just goes to you've got to be extremely intentional about conducting this as a business. Even if you do it part-time, you can still do it with a full-time attitude, right? But it is imperative for you to be armed with trainings and tools that can help your team and that can help you duplicate yourself. If your team becomes very large, it's very difficult to be on every Zoom and on every call. And recordings like this really helps you and makes it easier for you to give information to your individual team members. Guys, without further ado, I put a few trainers together today to speak and answer the question. I've received my RX ID number. What now? What are the next steps that I need to take? Now, the first step that I want you to take as a new rep is I want you to define your own why. Now, if I say why, I'm referring to why have you chosen this as a business opportunity for yourself? What is your inner motivation? What is your why? And if you define that why for yourself clearly, that will carry you internally on days when you maybe face challenges, like you will in any business. You have to remind yourself, why am I doing this? So defining your why is a fundamental start to building your own business. It's an internal point of starting. So why? Why is it finances? Is it health? Is it to provide for your family? Is it in order to have the freedom of time? There are so many different factors that can influence your why, but I want you to take a piece of paper and define your own why clearly. Once you've defined your own why, this will arm you with the knowledge to start working on your 2-minute story. Now, a 2-minute story as an introduction is extremely important because you will want to be armed with relevant information that you can share in a 2-minute bracket with somebody that asks you about your business. That's why we call it a 2-minute story. And I want to introduce you to a woman that is truly an expert at crafting a 2-minute story. And she's going to give you some pointers that you can use to put together a 2-minute story. You do not want to, we say in Afrikaans, we say hot bubbles. When somebody asks you, it means like bite in the air, not knowing what to say when somebody asks you about your business. You want to be prepared, you want to be armed, and you want to craft your own 2-minute story. So in saying that, I want to introduce you to Tammy Maltby Melchizedek. She is a leader within NewAge America and now also in Africa. She has various people and teams building all over the world, and she is the right person to train us on how to craft your 2-minute story. Tammy, I want to intro and give over to you.
Thank you, Erika. Well, good evening, everyone in South Africa and Namibia and any of the other countries that have joined us. We're so glad that you jumped on. Just a warm welcome from Colorado Springs. My name is Tammy Maltby Melchizedek, and I've been doing a 2-minute story for 7 years. And so I want to encourage you, one of the most important arsenals that you have in your toolbox, a tool that you have in your toolbox, is to learn how to communicate your story effectively. And so it took me a while, and it'll take you a while, and it's okay to practice. And so I encourage you to get with people on your team and practice your 2-minute story. I'm happy for you to send me your 2-minute story. You can send them directly to me, and I will critique them for you if you're willing to have feedback, which is really important, and give you some insights into how to create a compelling 2-minute story to get people to take a look. Remember, people don't buy facts. People don't jump into a business oftentimes just by facts. So facts are important and the business is important. People are moved by emotion. And most people have started this business out of emotion. They've started it in a place where they are wanting something better for their life and better for their family. So I want you to remember, it's okay. I want you to have emotion when you're sharing your 2-minute story. So let me give you a couple pointers, and then I want you to practice with each other, send videos to one another. I want you to know that Dr. Crystal Vance, who many of you have heard, she's a pro. She is a pro at network marketing and a pro in this business. She did her story about 100 times before she finally got to a place where she felt it was good. And I don't think you need to practice it that much. She's a little bit of a perfectionist, but I do think it does take some training and some understanding of how to communicate with people. So when we're talking about a 2-minute story, we're actually talking about a short period of time. You know, it can be 2 minutes, it can be 4 minutes. It never should be 5 minutes. We want to keep a 2-minute story short and condensed. So what we want to do is, if I'm taking a 2-minute, let's just say a 2-minute time frame, I'm going to take the first 30 seconds or whatever amount of time that is to talk about what my life was like before I entered this business. What was my struggle? What was happening in my life? I want people to come back to a place why I took a look at this business. Whether it's that you want better health, you've been struggling with your weight for years, you want more financial independence, you want to be able to quit a job you really hate, you want more time with your children, you want more time with your kids. If you're a stay-at-home mom, you want to be able to, or working, you want to come home with your kids. Whatever it is for you that you're looking to change people's financial picture, that you are living in Africa, that you know the reality of the country, you know people are looking for an opportunity. Whatever it is, make sure it's genuine to you and that it carries an intense emotion. So when I talk about my before story, I talk about the fact that we had success and then the crushing happened. And I use that word a lot. So where is the crushing for you? What has brought you down the funnel to look at this business as an opportunity to build? What does that look like? So this is before and during the crushing. That's the very first part of your story. Let me give you a little tip here. Do not give too much information on this. Please don't talk about how you have all these health problems and all these. Don't get too deep in the weeds of this, because what happens is people are so emotionally exhausted after listening from what you've walked through. They're like, Jace, I can't even recover from the before story. So make sure that you're just touching on a couple of things. For my husband and I'll just give you the illustration because it's my story. I touch on the fact we had success and then the crushing happened, and we were in financial straits. We lost our investments. We didn't know what we were going to do. I had to sell my wedding ring. That was hard. Now, I gave you very little information right there, but you understand the intensity of it, correct? Thumbs up. Okay, so you want to have a lot of feeling and emotion to the before, so people really can connect into your story. There's no greater tool that you have than your very own story. Not my story, not Erika's story, your story. It's very, very powerful. Now, we talked about the before. So this was what our life was like before. And then you pivot and you say, and then someone shared this opportunity with me. And you make a dynamic pivot where you were at when someone shared this opportunity. Somebody came to me that I trusted, my good friend Tom and Emily, my friends Tom and Emily Davis. And he said to me, Tammy, I think this is something you need to take a look at. Whoever shared the opportunity, pivot at that point. And then Erika brought this opportunity. And then Anri or Corlia or Frohan, they brought an opportunity to me. And, you know, at first I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if it was for me. And that's okay to say that, because you have to remember, people are looking to connect with your story. They're trying to find their story in your story. Like, if they're already thinking, I don't know if I can do this, I don't know if this is going to work for me, if you already state that to them, it's like their defenses go down, right? They're like, oh, you thought that too? And so we're connecting constantly. Think about connection points. So now we've made the pivot and we've said, and then someone brought this opportunity to me. I wasn't sure I could do it. I wasn't sure Africa was ready. I wasn't sure I had the tools. Whatever it is that you had questions about, it's going to be different for you than it was for me. But state a couple of those things, not too many, but one or two things that you had to overcome to continue in this business. But you know, my why was bigger. My why was bigger. I wanted something different for my family. I wanted something different for my future. I wanted something different for the people of Africa. I believed that this was something that could transform people's lives, including my own. And remember, personal, back to you, it's your story. And then you pivot the third time. And after I got started in the business, this is what happened. So it's 3 parts to your story. Now we're in the third part. So the first part is before the crushing and during the crushing. What was the crushing? The second part of your story is, and then someone invited me to take a look. And you talk about taking what that was like. Who was that person? Did you trust that person? Did that person have integrity? Did they have something that you thought was fascinating or interesting? Could you see yourself in that story? And then finally, you make the third pivot, which is, and this is what happened in my life. My husband and I were able to make a house payment and a car payment in 5 months. In a year, I entered into a 6-figure income. And in 2 years, all of our debt was paid off. And we were able to buy back our wedding ring. Boom. I don't have to even give more information than just that. So you are showing people. Of course, I have a big story. I understand that. But I've been telling this story for a long time. And so I want you to know it's okay as you tell your story that you realize, oh, you know what? I don't need to say all that, but this seems to really connect with people. So constantly be working on your story. I cannot tell you how important it is that if you get, if you're in a store and someone comes up to you, that you have the ability, that it's so on the tip of your tongue that you can immediately tell people. They're going to say, so Erika, what are you up to? After you ask them, and they will eventually ask you what you're up to. Gosh, do you remember back in 2008, Jerry and I were walking through blah, 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 blah. And then 2 minutes later, that person already knows I have an opportunity for better health, better finances, to work from home. I can do that in a very short period of time, but it does take practice. So remember, 3 parts: practice. The first 30 seconds is what my life was like when this opportunity came to me and why I took a look. 2 is someone that I trusted shared the opportunity with me. And this is what happened. My health got better. I lost 30 pounds. I had a beautiful community of people, whatever it is. 3rd pivot. And now my objective is to share with people what I have found a hope. I have found hope, trust, and a plan. Thanks so much for listening. And so thanks so much for listening. And I hope this was helpful. I hope that you can practice, and I just challenge you, send your stories, video them, video your stories, because it's not just good enough to practice it in your head. You have to have it on video, and then have the courage to send it to your upline and say, what am I missing? How can I be better? What connected with you? Be open to feedback. Be open to feedback, because I promise you, if you can get this one skill down in learning to tell your 2 to 4 minute story in a concise and compelling way, it's the most powerful tool I have in my business. And it's going to be the most powerful tool you have. So Erika, I hope I didn't take too long, but I hope that was helpful.
Tam, and I just want to ask you a question. Your 2-minute story is something that will even evolve over time, right?
Right. Of course, think about it. That's such a good point. Because for the first year that I was in this business, I made income, but I didn't make a lot of income. I didn't make huge income. Really, it wasn't even until I got into about my 14th month that the business really took off. And so my story at the beginning was I wanted to make a house payment and a car payment. I wanted to bring in, whatever it was at that time. My goal was, I think, 1,500 a month, which is still a very fabulous goal. But at the beginning, that's where I started out as. And at the very beginning, my first story that I talked about was I jumped into this business to pay for 4 tires. Which you don't even know that story. But when I started in my business, I had to buy 4 tires for my car, and it was $800, and I didn't have it. And I thought, I wonder if I can make $800 doing this. So that was my story back then. That's not even a part of my story anymore.
Yeah.
But at that time, that's where I was at. So yes, your story evolves and it moves and it changes. And so that's a great point.
Well, okay, guys, we've spoken about defining your why, and then we've spoken about pulling your why into your 2-minute story. And now we're going to speak about how to use your 2-minute story. And we call that process prospecting. Now, Dr. Crystal says this: mouth open, shop open; mouth closed, shop closed. So how do you get people to listen to your 2-minute story? That process is what we call prospecting. And I can think of no better person to share about prospecting than our one and only Jimmy Powell. Now, let me tell you about this guy. He's a leader in his community. He's a very successful physiotherapist in Bloemfontein, South Africa. He is a dear friend, but he's also a dynamic businessman and a leader with his wife, Anri, in South Africa. Very dynamic leaders indeed. So, Jim, I want you to share practically with everybody on this call what to do with your 2-minute story. How do you find people to start talking to? How do you approach prospecting?
Thank you very much, Erika. I appreciate it. You guys, thank you for the opportunity. I'm just bubbling with excitement with what's happening in South Africa at the moment. I just want to share before I go over to the prospecting is that we can feel our time is running out to transition into something even greater than what we are experiencing at the moment. And we are really excited about that. We know that the time isn't much before we are going to go into the final launch for this company into Africa. And that's a big excitement for us. So I just want to say before I start is that the excitement is building up and we can really feel it on a daily basis. And we are very, very much excited to be part of this. And I think that's probably one of the things that you need to have when you approach a prospect is that you need to have excitement. You need to be excited about what you're doing. So first of all, let me not get ahead of myself. I'm just going to share a few points, just 5 points about how we approach our prospects, and that would really be that. We've got a lot of people that we have good relationships with, and we want to share the hope with them. That's the bottom line. Is you want to share with people that you care about, because you know what it's done for your life. And like Tammy said, is that if you can have a pivot in your life through this company, then you know that this company is the way forward, also for those people that you care about. So that is how we find prospects. Is we look at the people that we know and that we already have good relationships with. And we get into contact with them because that's the first people that we want to help. And then we start looking wider than that, and we start identifying people outside of our group of close friends and relationships that might just be influential in their areas, so that we can just circle it out into different areas of the community and of the country and of Africa. So that's how we would go about thinking about who to approach when you want to go and talk to a prospect. So first, look at someone that you already have a relationship with and that you know trust you, someone that would trust you. So trust is the bottom line. Like Tammy said, it's trust, hope, and a plan. And trust being the first one. So having good relationships is really valuable in a business like this. And the trust is the fundamental. So if you're not sure who to approach, just look at someone that you know that would trust you to just give you 30 minutes of their time to listen to your story. And as Tammy explained, you just need a 3-minute story or 2-minute story, and you can share that with them. So, but when you approach them, when you've identified your prospect, it's really important to just dress up as well. I'm just going to give a few pointers. You need to dress like you mean business. So dressing up does not only show the type of respect that you have for yourself, but it also shows the respect that you have for your prospect. So if you want to be sure that you arrive the right way, make sure that you dress the right way, because that's really something that is very important approaching a prospect into business. And also the venue that you choose for this meeting. If you have a Zoom, it's very important to keep it basic. If you can get a quiet place, don't let the dog be all over you and the kids in the background screaming and shouting. Make sure you get enough time. This is really important. It sounds like something silly, but it's very disruptive if you want to really talk about business and there's interruptions all the time. So just keep in mind, if you want to talk to someone, get a nice quiet spot in the house. Make sure it's not too busy. Like my background at the moment is a little bit busy. I wouldn't use this when I do a prospecting Zoom, but keep it simple and make sure you have peace and quiet in your house. If you go to a place maybe where you meet someone in person, make sure it's not noisy. In a small town like Bloemfontein, it's really difficult because you know everyone. There's constant interruption with people saying hello to each other. But if you can find a nice quiet space where you can really communicate with your prospect, that's really important, something to remember. And then I mentioned the energy. You need to be excited about what you're doing. You need to be convincing, but not through your words. You don't want to convince anybody through your words. You want to convince them through your attitude towards this business. If it's going to take words to convince them, they're probably not the right people to have in your team. But if you can convince them through your energy and the way you feel about this business, then that's what's gonna make them interested in what you're talking about and what you have to say. And with that, you need to have a knowledge of your company, of the company that you're putting your money on. You need to have a knowledge of that. And how do you get knowledge? Is by attending the Zooms, by looking at trainings, to be on the Zoom trainings, and also to read up, to watch YouTube channels, to keep an eye out for what's going on the Facebook pages, so that you are aware of what's going on in your business. So it's very important for you. Like Erika mentioned, you have to treat this as a business and not just a sideline hobby. If you treat this as a business, your knowledge will grow, your integrity will grow, your energy will grow, your excitement will grow, and that will speak for itself when it comes to talking to a prospect. So that's a very important part for me as well. And then when you've got all those boxes ticked, then it's time for you to tell your story to your prospect. All right, so you're going to tell your story and they're going to be identifying with you, or maybe they're not, but you're going to tell your story. And you can always say that this business isn't for everyone. Maybe it is for you, maybe it isn't, but maybe you might be interested to have a look and we can talk about it again sometime. So that's the way we approach our prospects. And then lastly, they might be negative about network marketing. You might sit in front of someone that never in their life want to do network marketing. You know what? That's okay, because I was also one of those people. I always said, network marketing, that's not me. I'll never do that in my life. But just someday, there might something just might happen, and the right company might come your way, and all those things might change for you. All the negative perceptions might change into something positive, and a personal growth experience that might just change your life. So that could also be, and that should also and always be your approach when you talk to your prospects. They might be negative. They might have a previous experience that hurt them in network marketing. They might have heard stories. They might think that it's the biggest scam on earth. That's okay. Don't try to convince them otherwise. But just know that why you are doing what you are doing. If you can just be sure in why you are doing it, like Tammy said, if your why is big enough, if you understand your vision for your family, then regardless of what anybody else's opinion might be, you know where you are headed. And it's okay. You're not going to get yes every time. Remember that. Don't feel personally touched, or don't feel, that it's a personal thing when someone says no to you. Please don't. Be free from yourself. I've listened to podcasts of a guy saying, I'm free from me, so that makes me free from you. So if you can be free from getting hurt by people, if you can be free from, kleinserigheid, I don't know what the English for that is, sensitivity, and, just easily, down talked, and, if you're that kind of person, you're going to find it hard to see a prospect. If you're the person that gets hurt easily by the words of other people, it's going to be hard for you to talk to someone else, because they might say that, I think your company is not worthy. I think you made the wrong decision, and you're going to be unsure of yourself. So you want to be sure that whatever they're saying will not influence where you are going. And that is very important when you look at a prospect. And then there's just lastly, I think I've overstepped my time, but I just want to say one more thing. For people in my team, when we talk to people in our team, there's one thing that I want everyone in my team to know. And that is, if someone says to you, this looks like a pyramid scheme, I want everyone to know what to say to them. Everyone in my team, I want them to know what to say to a prospect that says this looks like a pyramid scheme. Because you're getting it in South Africa. I don't know about the US, but in South Africa, you get that all the time. No, it looks like a pyramid scheme. Now, okay, I want to just quickly run through this with you. So I've spoken to this one guy, and he's seen prospects in a big tent many years ago for a different company. He had to do network marketing, and they did it differently. They didn't have Zoom those days. So they had like 100 people in a big tent somewhere out of town, and people would gather there and they would do a prospect meeting. Okay. So now when he's told his story to the whole crowd, the guy at the back of the room said, this looks like a pyramid scheme to me. Okay. So this guy standing in the front was confronted in front of everybody with this question, or with this remark. So what he did is he said, okay, just sir there at the back, would you just stand up and tell me your name, please? So that everyone can just hear and see you clearly. And immediately the guy was, okay, I didn't see that coming, but now he stood up, and I'm Bertus. And I said, okay, now Bertus, who do you work for? And Bertus said, I work for Toyota. Now everyone knows Toyota. It's a motor company, a Japanese motor company. So he said, okay, Bertus, so you work for Toyota. Now Toyota has a CEO, right? So there's someone, I don't know if you can see my book. There's someone right there at the top. He's the CEO. Okay. So under the CEO, you probably get like a marketing manager, or you get like a manager, so you get the MD, the managing director, right? Under the CEO. Yes, he says, you suppose that's how Toyota works. There's marketing managers and directors. So under the directors, you get the regional managers, right? So yes, Bertus agrees. There are some managers. So now you're sitting with the CEO, and you're sitting with the managing directors, you're sitting with the regional managers. He says, Bertus, so where in Toyota do you work? What's your job description? He says, I'm a mechanic in the workshop. He says, okay, Bertus, hold on. So after the sales manager, or after the managing directors and the regional managers, you get sales managers, and then you get the workshop managers, and everyone just falls into the system underneath the CEO. He says, yes. He says, so Bertus, just tell me something. If you worked really hard for 3 years, would you be able to earn the same amount of money as the CEO of Toyota? Bertus says, not a chance. He says, Bertus, I don't want to give you bad news, but it looks like you're working for a pyramid scheme. So if anyone ever tells you that you're working for a pyramid scheme and this company is a pyramid scheme, remember to tell them this story. So I want you to be sure what you are doing and why you are doing this. And if you're in this team and you want to build your business in Africa, then be sure that this is not a pyramid scheme, and that you determine your own paycheck and that you can go as far in this business as you want to, as quickly as you want to. And that's my story. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, Jimmy.
We're
Well,
gonna run today.
well done, you guys. That really puts it into context, right? And it just shows how we are all misinformed and misled in a way, right? Jim, I have a question for you. If you are working with a prospect and you just started the business and you realize you don't have the confidence, you don't have the skill set, you don't have the knowledge about the business, you don't even know anything about NewAge, right? What do you do then? How do you approach prospecting? Especially
Yes,
in
I think
our
it's a
team.
very important question, because a lot of people are going to be new in the company, not knowing what it's all about exactly. Erika, third-party calling is a really important part of seeing prospects. So you have someone in your upline, someone that has brought you into this company that knows a little bit more than you. And whenever you feel that you need to talk to someone, but you're not sure what to tell them, third-party calls are really the way to go. You need to get someone involved on your upline that knows about this company, that knows the questions that will come your way when you talk to a prospect, and that knows what they're talking about, that has knowledge about the company, and that has a passion for this company that can really help you in such situations. So don't underestimate the value of someone with more experience than you to be brought into this prospecting meeting with your prospect, and that can really help you a lot. For us, if I can just say, Tammy and Erika has been fantastic. When we started out, there were just like 20 or 30 people in Africa in this company when we started, and they've been fantastic. They really helped us so much when we talked to prospects. We had no idea what we were doing, but we knew we were onto something, and they were always keen to help us. So your upline are the people to talk to get into a third-party call and help you with your prospects. I hope that helps.
Yeah, don't go at it alone, right, Gemma? We're
Yes.
a team. Don't go at it alone. And there's a very important question that just came through in the chat box that I just want to touch on. As you all know, we are pivoting from Oryx to NewAge. We are in pre-launch in Africa, which means that we have not received information on the new products that will be manufactured by Africa for Africa. So the question is, how do you sell the products when we don't know what they are yet? This is a very important question because products matter, right? So I'm just going to give you my take on it, how I deal with it. And this is just how I do it. You might do it differently. Guys, what I do is, first of all, I want to move away from the concept of selling, right? And I want to move more towards sharing. So I'm sharing the opportunity. This person asks me, Erika, what are the products? And here's how I say. I tell them about our Oryx brand of products, and we have a 360 health approach to our products, which will never change. I tell them about our third-party validation that will never change, whether we have products in China, USA, or South Africa. If we say they are clean products, then they are. So I share with them about what the company is known by in other parts of the world. And then I explain to them that this is a publicly traded company. There is no way that they will release products in Africa that does not meet the criteria and the standard that they are exhibiting worldwide. And then I share with them the brand of products that they have, that we all can build with in different parts of the world. Don't forget, even if you are in Africa, you can still build in England. You can still build all over. So don't forget that. That's why you want to show them the brand of products that we have available in the other parts of the world. And that really will give them a perspective. If that is what we are putting out there, then that will excite them about what we are bringing to Africa, because there is no way that a publicly traded company will put their integrity and their reputation at risk with products. So although I cannot answer, and I tell people upfront, I tell them I do not have an exact answer for you concerning the exact products. I don't lie. I want to encourage you, don't make up stuff. If you don't know any question, any answer to a question, just say, I do not know, but I can tell you this. And then you focus on what you do know. Okay. And I hope that helps a little bit. We can get caught up very quickly on what we do not know, so that we forget actually what we do know. Don't go there. But guys, we've spoken about your why. We've spoken about using your why in your 2-minute story. We've spoken about how to share your 2-minute story with people, which we call prospecting. Let's say you have success and somebody says, I want to enroll. Now, you yourself, you're a new rep. You don't really know how to do it. So the first thing that you would have done is you would have set up your own X office. And the second thing you want to do is you want to enroll this rep through your own X office. So I'm going to hand over to the beautiful Anri Powell, and she will be sharing her screen and showing you step by step, number one, how to activate your own X office. And number two, how to use your X office to enroll this new rep. Ann, over to you.
Thank you, guys. All right, so I'm just quickly going to run, not quickly, this is not something that's happening quickly, and I would like you, to recommend everyone to really just go out and play a little bit with this. This is what I want to start with, and thank you for all the speakers before this. This is really, an amazing training to just gather all this information. The main thing for me is that you need to be able to be teachable. You need to be like a sponge. Now, we've been in the business for the past 7 months already, and we learn every single day. We go out and we see how we can, help each other. Then we get questions from our downline, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't know that, but let us find out. I will never just tell you, listen, I can't help you. I will find out, because I want to know as well. So I've made a lot of mistakes in signing up people. I have placed people on dots, and you will see now how that works. And I really didn't even know how to, where to start with that. But there's a magnitude of people and knowledge in this business that can help you, and that it's really there to help you. So the first thing that you will do is you will go onto your Safari or onto Chrome. I love working with Chrome, and you will go to your internet and you will type in www.rx.com. Now, please note that we're still working on our RX back office if you are in this team, and this will eventually also change to a NewAge back office, and things will change, but then we will learn that all from the start again, and we will go into that training all together. So that will be new for all of us. But for now, we are signing in all the African people in your X office, also from other countries, and I will show you how to do that. So this is how the page looks like, and you will see that there's a few tabs at the top. Some pages, there's 3 tabs at the top. We actually click on that, and then it throws all these things down as well. It all depends on what site you are working, but this is how my X office is looking like. So on this tab, when you open up, you will go to your X office. Now, very important that you will, if you are brand new, and this is where you are going in, I hope my internet is playing with, you will get an RX ID number. So you will get a mail to say, congratulations, you have signed up into RX, and there's a 7-digit number that you will get. Either starts with an 8 or a 9, and then there's 7 digits that we are not seeing the X office screen. Just, are you guys seeing it? Not share screening. Oh my
So we're seeing your Google screen.
Okay, let me just quickly see. Yeah. Can you see that now?
Go, Anri, perfect.
Okay, so
good.
Is it there?
Yes.
All right. So guys, so what you will see here, when you got that number, you will put your RX ID number in. If you register for the first time on your X office, you will have to go to register for RX office. Once you do that, you can put in your RX number, and it will ask you for a password. You choose your own password, 7 to 14 digits, and you can have like capital letters, small letters, numbers that you can put in there, and you just form it, and it's asked twice for your password, and then you say register, and it will take you into your back office. So I'm just quickly going to go in here. I have registered already, so I have my own back office. I put in my password, and then you can choose log into X office, log into shop. I always just go to log into X office, and it will open this screen up for you. All right, so you will see the moment you sign in that this is how your X office is looking like. And I'm just, maybe I must just make my screen a bit bigger. There we go. And there you will see, all the information that you need to see on your X office. I'm sharing nice information here with you guys from our X office, but we are free, so we just love this business. So you will see there's a lot of tabs at the top there, and those are the tabs that you are going to work on. If you've signed in for the first time, this is where you will go. You will go to your library. No, sorry. I haven't been into my boss. There we go, my business. And you will see the boss training. Now, guys, this is very, very important for you to realize that you need to go into your boss training to get all this information. There's a lot of training that's happening there. If you click on that, there's videos by videos on videos on videos on everything. It will share how to get into, this is how the boss training looks like. The RX story, if you press on that, you will see Founders Welcome, Disruptive by Design. You can download all these videos that's on here, and you can share that with all your people that you want to share with, and to really just see how you can, get yourself at a place where you learn how to work your business. If you need to get out of that, you just press on the boss there again. It will take you to the active compensation plan, which will change in a few months in South Africa and Africa. You have a look at your whole X office. If you go through all these videos, everything on there will be shared with you exactly how to do that. If you are like me and you just watch halfway and want to start playing around, then it's going to take you a little bit longer. You'll make a bit more mistakes, but that's also okay. So when we go back to our X office, the main thing that I want to show you now, and you will get all your reports, your how to work your AOR, that's RX opportunity rewards, account settings, everything is on here, but that you need to go and play with once you started your business. The main thing for us is how to enroll a new rep. So you got your number, you saw that you are Golden Ultimate, we are Golden Ultimate. It will say that you are a member when you log on there, and from there you're just going to go to enroll. There's a few places that you can go in. There's a new rep that you can sign in there as well on your dots there. That's also your quick links that's there, but you can go to enroll and you can just say new rep. Now in Africa, guys, if you're signing up a boss, this is how you will do it. It's really very easy, and you don't have to go to anything else. In any other countries, you choose another market and those people will work on packs. Remember, in Africa at this stage, we can sign in people for free. That means that they are locking a spot in your business. We go to Take Me to RX South Africa, and it will open up your whole shop that's going to be with you. So from here on, you can be now, if you want to play a little bit around, you can go into any of those tabs, and there will be a business opportunity tab that you can press on, but that's we are signing in way too many bosses at this stage, and you are going to sign in way too many bosses, that you can just scroll down all the way to the bottom, and all you do is you press the button next. Once you've pressed on that button, it is going to open up a tab for you that's going to take you to go, like going out. Sorry, guys, our internet is very slow, yeah? This is just to say that there's an interest. Thank you for the interest. Our team is working at warp speed to get operations in Southern Africa established, but please note that if you buy products, it might have to go through customs, and it really just give you an idea, how to work with that, and get in touch with your upline if you did order products and you do get mails from customs. But that you can just say, I got it. Now you can see your empty cart, keep shopping, and all you do is you press just check out. That's how easy it is. Go to the bottom, press next, you get to this page, and you just say check out. Now it's going to take you now to a whole list of enrollment. Now, this is very important for you because all your information needs to come on here of your new boss. Now, just quickly for the people who's already in an upline position, who's already have a downline and you want to help your people, if someone send all this information to you, you can actually, as a boss or as an upline, sign in people on their ex-offices without entering their ex-office. That's very important. You don't want to give away your password and your ID for people to go and play around in your ex-office. Your ex-office is your business tool. So what you do there, you will see that it says sponsor ID and my name will stand there. Now, all that you do, and thank you, Yarin, for showing this for me, is you change that sponsor ID to the person that gave you the bosses to sign in. Say, for instance, Erika asked me to enroll 2 people for her. She cannot do that today. I will put in Erika's ID number there. It will give me Erika's name at that, the sponsor name. And from there on, I can put people in Erika's organization without entering into her ex-office. So that's very important. If you want to help your organization build, that's an easy way for them to build that. But I'm putting someone in for myself. Set placement, guys. This is where you put on a person onto your graphical tree or onto a manual placement. So I'm quickly going to go for you guys in my tree view, and all that you do there is you press on tree view, and I'm quickly just going to show you. There it opens up your tree view, and you can now go and choose where you want to put your person onto your tree view. So, oh my goodness, I've lost that. Okay, it doesn't want me to show you my tree view. See, my internet threw me out there, but that will be where you exactly go and place. Remember, we are building 2 lines in your organization. So you will put each other under each other's legs. And that's sometimes confusing. It took me literally, I think, 6 weeks to understand the 2 lines, because once you start building, you don't know where to start putting your people. So just go back to your upline and ask them how to explain those 2 lines to you. You are building under your organization. You are putting people under your organization, even if they lie 50 lines under you. If you've put a person under your ID, they are still your first generation. It's just as if you put them right under yourself. So that is where you will do your graphic tree placement. You can also do a manual placement where you can put in, if you know under who you want to put that person, that's where you will put that name. And then you just scroll down. Now, very important, the information that you need to give is first name as it appears on your ID or your government ID or on your passport, your full name. The reason why we do that is the moment you start going into your RX Pay, you have to verify your bank account. And if you are, like Susanna Johanna van der Merwe, and you only put in Susie, it's not going to verify your bank account when your bank account is on that name. So very important to put your first name on there, the full names, middle name and last name, your birth date. America works on months, days and years. We in South Africa work on days, months and years, but just check that you make sure that you put the month first, the day secondly, and then the year. You click if it's a male or female. You put a primary address in, and very important on this primary address, guys, if you are signing up anyone outside of South Africa's borders, then at that city, you need to put in inverted commas the city where you are or the country where you are enrolling. So if I put in, a South African address, but I'm signing in someone in Lesotho, then I will put in brackets Lesotho or Nigeria. Namibia is the only other country where you can actually put their addresses in and put in Namibia in, but all the other Nigerian countries at this stage, you can put a primary address and in South Africa, and just in inverted commas, you can just then put Nigeria or Botswana or any of the other countries. I never click I need online privacy. I actually don't know, Tammy, if that is, Erika, if that is something that needs to be ticked. I never say I need online privacy. I've never used it before. Very important, you just press on I agree to abide in these rules. Now, I've got someone that I could sign in, but it's going to take a little bit of time. So I'm quickly just going to take you through the steps from here. Once you press next, it will take you to a field where they're going to, or a page where they're going to show you boss, $0, shipping, $0, Total $0. And all that you do there is you submit that form. Right after that, it will take 2 or 3 or 5 seconds, or if you're in my house, 10 or 15 seconds. And it will then tell you, congratulations, your order number is blah, blah, blah. And your RX ID number is that number. And that is the number. I always take a screenshot for my people. I send it to them with lots of balloons and shout out faces and say, congratulations, you've just signed up into the most amazing company. I cannot wait to set up your RX and NewAge platform and your X office for you. Very important, guys. I don't know if you've experienced it as well, but on that tab, it tells you sign in or create an auto delivery or register on the X office. And the moment I press on the register on the X office, it throws something that I cannot do it from that tab. So I always go out and I just go back into X office. And then from there on, as you would go to this, this page, I will then go and register from the beginning onto my X office. So that is in a nutshell, guys, how you sign up someone on a boss. Very important. If you made a mistake, you can always just go and click on the little X office there at the top, and it's immediately, or not immediately, supposedly immediately, take you back into your X office again. So you don't have to go log out and sign in again. You just press on that little X office and it will take you back into this whole process where you can just look at your whole screen again. And then if you've made a mistake, you can just go back to enroll. Very, very important. Last thing that I just would like to leave with you, please do not underestimate the power of your upline and UK support. That is our platform where we at this stage get help. If you've misplaced someone on a tree, or if you have it had a default setting and it set someone on a 3rd line and you only want to build 2 lines, I immediately send a mail to our UK support at rx.com. Tammy or Ant, if you can just maybe put that into the chat as well. UK support at rx.com. Michael's 3rd language is English, so please be very patient with them. They have a lot of people that they are working with and a lot of information that's coming through on that. So yeah, just grant them a little bit of slack as well, and help, just ask them, listen, I've misplaced someone, can you please help me sign out the person? Or, I really struggle, can you just maybe help me to get this person onto, someone else? If I've signed up someone as a 1st generation, which need to be a 2nd generation, can you please, help us do that? And then they will get back to you and say, thank you very much. We did change that to you. And you can then just go and check that onto your X office. So for now, guys, I think this is the most important thing for you to know, that you don't have to be the most IT savage person out there and, know exactly how to work on anything. If you can go through your boss or go through your training videos, ask an upline to help you. And we also open up our doors, even if you're not in our organization. Please, give us a shout if you need anything, or send us a WhatsApp. Our numbers are on the Nation group as well. We will help with love, and we will, guide you into the direction that you need to be in. If your upline is maybe busy or, in a business call, we are all working this business part-time at this stage. And make sure that we tap into each other to get the information. If we don't know, we'll ask, and we'll get back to all of us to get to that process to really see how we can help each other and build this business amazingly. I think that's that. Erika, Tammy, I think, did I leave out something?
Oh, you were awesome. You guys, let's give a shout out. Let me see a little heart, a little hand clap, a little thank you very much for this amazing couple who shares so lovingly and so patiently, and they are just extraordinary leaders in Africa. And aren't you thankful that we have a team of people like this that we can draw from each other? I have to say, I remember, way back in the day, 7 months ago, it wasn't that long, but I remember, just trying to navigate through all of this, and none of us knew what we were doing. Now we do. Now we do know. So you have an incredible upline support right there in South Africa. Thank you, both of you. Just appreciate both of you so much. Thank you. And
Thanks,
I also want to remind you, this was a training on the boss, signing on the boss. One thing I absolutely want to make sure you understand, with South Africa and Namibia, only those 2 countries, you are able to get packs of products right now. So you are able to get people started on the products, the ones that we have with RX. You can get them started. They can start working their business, experiencing the products. I love to do that because I believe when people start to experience the quality of our products and the transformation, their belief, we were talking about belief a little while ago, the belief is built to the ceiling because they start to experience. So I want you to know you have two ways if you're in those two countries only. So if we have people on Nigeria, that's unfortunately not at this point available, but I just want to make sure you understand, if you are in South Africa, if you are in Namibia, you can sign people on packs and they can start experiencing the product. If not, you always have the boss, and it's a great way to get people in for free, at least for now. The promotion continues to move on. And then our products, the South African products are going to be coming. So anyway, thank you everyone. It was a lovely, lovely training. I hope this was helpful. Ant is going to be posting it on NewAge African Nation. So you will be able to take it off of there and you'll be able to share it. And with no further ado, thank you everyone for joining and have a beautiful evening. Thank you, everybody. Have a good evening. Thanks for joining.
Thank you, Tams. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so
Thank
much,
you,
guys.
guys.
We
Thank
appreciate
you
you
all.
guys. Thank
Bye.
you.